Welcome to episode 29 of the Reclaiming Man podcast. I'm your host, Scott Silvey. Today's episode is going to be short and sweet because I don't want to sink too much into thoughts with y'all. I want today's episode to be about taking action. And I've had some conversations with some people recently about a friend of mine has been noodling and thinking about starting a mentorship coaching group for a long time and hasn't taken the plunge. So I've now had two conversations with her that spanned at least an hour each. And I'm thinking about doing some things professionally in that space as well. And the message I have for you today is simple. When you find yourself at the edge of that cliff, wondering whether or not you should take the leap, take the leap. The best time to take the leap is the second you get there. And if you've been standing there for a while, the next best time is right now. And the thing is, people are so afraid to take the leap. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I listened to Sean Whalen talk about this in an awesome coincidence as well. And we arrived at the same conclusions, and that is people don't take the leap because once you take the leap, you only have yourself to rely on. Sean Whalen would describe it as people are terrified of themselves. And I would say that people are just afraid to fail. And they're afraid to not stand up to their ideals or what they believe in or what they committed to or what they said they're going to do when they fall flat. So I encourage y'all to take the leap. Build the wings on the way down. You'll figure it out. And here's the reality. If you're failing to take the leap because you're afraid of failing, that itself is a failure. If you take the leap and you fail, you failed. If you take the leap and you succeed, well, I'll tell you what, you're going to fail along the way as well. I know there's exceptions, like to the people that listen to this podcast on a weekly basis. If you look around, I know there's going to be exceptions, so like, don't come back at me with, oh no, I know a guy that blah, blah, blah. I know there's exceptions, but generally speaking, the most successful people you know are also the people that failed the most. Because to succeed, you have to iterate, you have to learn, you have to fail and take knowledge from that and try again and fail and try again and fail and try again. And so you're going to be a failure. And you need to change and rewire your brain from failure being bad to failing forward being good and part of the process of learning and growing. Or quitting or standing at the fucking cliff's edge and not leaping, that's failure. That's not good failure. That's bad failure. So look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that, hey, you can do this. You can take the leap. It doesn't mean you're going to accomplish what you think you're going to accomplish on the way down. Because the reality is many successful businesses, for example, went to market with one thing, got to market, learned something, pivoted maybe 10 times before they finally hit it and became successful. Whatever it is that you're afraid of, whatever it is that you want to do, as you take the leap, you start going into action mode instead of just thought process mode, instead of motion, where you do busy work to make it look like you're doing things, but you don't do things. You start taking action. Action produces clarity. Clarity gives you better vision for where to go. So that's my message for today, is recognize the areas of your life where you might be standing at that cliff edge, afraid to take the leap. This could be a commitment to working out. This could be a business venture. This could be asking somebody out on a date. This could be a conversation you've wanted to have with your partner, with your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your best friend that has been weighing on you. Take the leap. And I'll close with this. So we're on day 64 of 75 Hard. And Ryan Carmichael, guest on the show, we were having a conversation in our polo today, and Preston was talking about how there's just days where it's hard to get going. It's hard to get going. We've all had that. I had that last night as an example. So we were talking about this, and Ryan jumped in and said one of his coaches, like, his number one message is just commit to the first 5 minutes. Just that. Because once you've gotten into the first 5 minutes, that's the hardest part. then you're ready to keep going. So you got to take that first step. Just take the step, and you'll figure it out along the way.